Hello everyone, my name's Hunter at Vapor Honing Technologies and Vapor Blast Manufacturing, and today we're going to be discussing how to add a finish to plastic pieces. It's one of the things that you can do in a wet blast process that you can't necessarily do in a dry blast process because this process is so gentle and it cleans by flow. So we're going to be discussing how to add a finish to these pieces. These came from a dirt bike, they're just the side pieces, but they are plastic. And we're going to be discussing why vapor honing is the best alternative or best cleaning process for parts like this. So we're back with our after results. This one on the left is glass bead and this one on the right is an aluminum oxide that we blasted in. Now both abrasives are super fine and vapor honing obviously is able to blast plastic pieces without damaging them. But more of the how-to side of it, you always want to start with a lower pressure. Maybe start at like a 30, 40, or 50 PSI. And increase is needed. I ended up at about 60 on these parts just to have the same comparison side by side of 60 PSI of each abrasive. Now I probably could have gone a little bit higher on that, but as you can see, this piece in the middle, it was kind of a little bit flimsy before, so I don't want to damage that anymore. So I stuck right at 60, but lower pressure is the way you want to go with these parts. So I would definitely start there. But you can see how it cleaned these greases, oils, just different stains up on the parts. It cleaned it up very well. Obviously there is a little bit more staining from greases and oils on this side than there was on this one. Perhaps why it didn't come completely free of the staining given that this plastic piece is white, but it did clean them up fairly quickly. Took me about 3 to 5 minutes on each of these to blast them. So not very long at a lower pressure. It may take you a little bit longer than some different metal pieces you're used to, but that's because you have to go at a lower pressure. It just takes a little bit longer, not too much. So obviously one of the key characteristics of this process is that it's very gentle. What happens when you're blasting is the water is going to create a cushion on the surface of this part. So the abrasive is not hardly impacting it, it's scrubbing the surface and skidding off. So whereas with the dry blast process, you may be cleaning a little bit more by impact, with this process you're cleaning by flow. So it's not getting embedded in the surface, not changing tolerances, you're not dealing with all of the different risks and factors that you deal with maybe in a dry blast process where you could not blast this part because it will tear it up very easily. So as far as the differences between like more of a plastic and more of a metal, you are going to see that this is a little bit less shiny with this piece and the glass bead that we blasted. It's just going to get it back to how the plastic looked originally, which is what it does for the metal, but it does give kind of an enhancement or a polish to the metal that it does not for the plastic. Same thing goes for over here. Aluminum oxide will provide more of a matte finish, which is exactly what it did on this part that we blasted in the aluminum oxide. Provided more of a matte finish. It's just not going to have that, you know, super shine if you blast it in a glass bead, but it will get it back to how it was looking before when it was new. If you guys have any questions, please don't hesitate to give us a call. If you guys have any pieces like this that you want us to blast for sample pieces just to see how the process works, we're happy to do that as well. Just give us a call here. Our number is 828-202-5563.